Welcome to my tutorial on how to paint Lighthouse silhouette rocks. This is an example of one of the ones that I did, and in order to get to this point we need to start off with a rock. We want a smooth rock painted white, and then we start with blending in the sky. We do that by getting, in this case, a blue and some black and a white, and just a little bit of water to help even it out there. And at this point, since we're just starting, you can take the main part of the blue pretty much almost all the way to both edges. You want to sort of get an even covering of it. And then let's go in with a little bit of light coloring. Grab that, mix in a little bit of water. Blend it up into the medium blue. Wipe off and start on the dark blue. I blend my own colors. If you have a large palette of acrylics, feel free to use lighter and darkers as you have them. That's maybe a little bit too dark on the black, so we'll add a little bit more of the blue. I'm going towards the medium blue again. You may want to let it dry a little bit between layers. Depends on the look you're wanting. And just blend it in. Make sure you have paintbrush on the right color in the right area. Sort of like that. Your darker blue is going to be towards the top, and the lighter blue is going to be the base where you have your lighthouse and any ground features that you want to add on. Now after that dries, we're going to work on the clouds. And for this one, I'm going with, like the example shown at first, some pinks, oranges, and yellow. The Orange I'm using is Harvest Orange, the yellow is Bright Yellow, and the pink is Diva Pink, the 50-cent ones you can find at Walmart. Now, to apply the clouds, I use a piece of sort of like foam type material. I found a large block, sort of like this. This is the kind that you get like in the craft section of the store for putting in pillows or cushions. I found a large piece of it actually in a free bin in rummage sale. So just something foamy. Walmart does have like little foam applicator type brushes that you could use too if you want to. For this in particularly, I like a straight edge to put my clouds on. And how we do the clouds is you start, dab just a little bit of white on the edge, and we're working with the edge only, and then you sort of dab it off so you don't have a big blob, and so that it spreads the white around too. Then just go in and dab on your clouds. The pink will be a little bit towards the top of the clouds, and you're going to put oranges underneath the pink and the yellow underneath an orange, but we're going to be blending them in just a little bit for good effect. You just dab with a really light hand. You need a little bit more, you load up again. Dab off. Maybe a little bit orange. You can experiment around with how much orange, how much of the color and how much of the white you want to put on. Then to the yellow. If you bring up a picture of, a sunrise or sunset with, the brightly colored clouds, that helps give you an idea of the shapes and how much of which color you want to apply. You can just go in, dab a little bit more to blend them in a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And after this dries, we're going to put on the silhouette of the lighthouse. And just get a brush here. And we'll paint the ground that it's on. Sometimes when it's hard to see on the video, but when you can follow sort of the natural line of the rock, it makes it look a little bit nicer. Now for the lighthouse. For the we're just doing the base of the tower. Because the rest of the tower will be drawn in after it's been sealed with a Sharpie. And if it's hard to get an exact line, a nice sharp line with your brush, that's okay. You can come in and Sharpie it for a nice straight edge. And then if you'd like to add some trees, I like adding in pine trees, I use flat brush for that. Just dab in a little bit of black, sort of like the trees, dab off a little bit. And then I'm going to draw in a line. Then go in just a little bit at top. Dab in, getting longer as you go towards the bottom. Do another tree here. There you go. There's the majority of your silhouette. And also, if you would like to add in a light for your lighthouse, I go in with a little bit of white right here. That is presuming you have a yellowish white light, not a specific lighthouse that actually has a red lantern. So use whatever color lantern you would like. Just add that in. And later on when we go in with a Sharpie, we're going to encase that. So it looks like it's lit. Now, at this point, you want to seal the rock with your choice of sealer. I like to go with a matte, because even the semi-gloss is a little bit too shiny if you have it in a light, and you don't see the detail as well. So here we go. And for the details, I like using the ultra fine point Sharpies. And what we do is I'll go in and sort of make the platform extending out a little bit on each side. Then I will draw in the lantern room. And most of the lantern rooms, at least on the Great Lakes, they sort of have about a waist high, maybe a little bit lower wood enclosure so you don't see the lamp on that part. If my Sharpie will work for me here. Sorry about that. They are being a little bit difficult today. There we go. And now I was a little bit blurby with the light, so actually it's spilling out, but once you have it encased, it's really hard to tell, especially since you got a cloud going on back there. Then we add to the top. Basically, just a little bit of a triangle. And then a little ball on top. And there you have your lighthouse silhouette.